lunch!
I'm dressed in a historical fashion because apparently coming out into the park is a little bit like traveling back in time.
It's a Laker.
Yeah.
Right on.
I don't want to hear it.
You want to hear it?
It's on.
Clear. Thank you.
There's our time machine. Time warp to the past.
Not even to the campsite yet, man. Oh, it's a good fight now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting close to the boat.
Yeah, it's a Laker, I think. Hopefully it's a Laker.
Oh yeah. That's a nice fish. Oh. Can't see where you are there.
Hang on, we'll go back up. Oh. We got lunch! Woo! 5 minutes in, we got lunch.
Look at that.
Yeah!
It's pretty windy out here. I was having trouble with the net in the water. Pass that up. There's your fish.
It's right there. We'll leave it right there. It's good.
Alright.
Alright, let's get to shore, man.
Wow. So we just got here. We're on Wrist Lake in Woodland Caribou Provincial Park. And not even 5 minutes in, we've got a beautiful lake trout, which we're going to cook up for lunch. And hopefully that's a sign of things to come. We're still going to go out and try and catch more fish for supper. So if you look around here, it's quite windy out. We're going to have a hard time paddling, especially with all of our gear out of the canoe. That wind's going to push us around. This area was burnt over, parts of it. We're pretty exposed out on the rock here, so we're just going to come in and set up our tents in this more sheltered spot, but just being really careful about some of these leaning and dead trees, especially with the wind conditions that we have right now. So we're off to a really good start. So I'm here in Woodland Caribou Provincial Park for 8 nights, 9 days on a fly-in fishing adventure. And I'm dressed in a historical fashion because apparently coming out into the park is a little bit like traveling back in time. There's only about 500 visitors to the interior of the park every year. There's very little fishing pressure. It's a very rugged and wild landscape. When you look around, you see lots of rock, lots of moss. We're up in the boreal, so it's all generally black spruce, jack pine, some birch trees, some aspens. This park frequently has forest fires, and the park policy is to let them burn as they naturally would. So there are huge areas here that are burnt over. I'll show a little bit of footage of the shoreline. Just from our campsite, you can see where whole hills have been burnt and are in the process of growing back. Even on the flight in, I saw 4 forest fires that were ignited just in the last 48 hours from a lightning storm that went through, and Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry is keeping a close eye on those. So we're here, we're started in on our adventure, and I have a couple of goals. So if you follow through on this series, my goals are to see and record wildlife, woodland caribou, moose, bears, and so on. I want to do a few Paleolithic catch and cook meals. So we have some stone knives, and we want to catch some fish and pick some local edibles and put together wild meals. I'm going to do some Voyageur era meals. So we brought some foods that would be authentic to that time period, and also some modern meals. And of course, a big goal for us is just to show the beauty here in the park, and catch lots of fish, and see if the rumors of guys coming in, 4 guys in canoes catching 1,200 fish in a week or 2,400 fish in a week, pike in the 40-inch range, lake trout, 30 lake trout a day, and get a little taste of some of that fishing experience. So we booked our fly-in adventure through Red Lake Outfitters. Harlan Schwartz is the owner-operator there, and so I want to give him a huge thank you for his hospitality and service. We had a great flight in. We have a little bit of equipment that is supplied by Red Lake Outfitters, and I would for sure recommend anybody who wants to get into a backwoods park where they're not going to see anybody and experience some world-class fishing, they should look up Harlan through Red Lake Outfitters and look into some of the adventure packages that are there. Harlan offers like full service outfitting. You can book guides and get all your equipment and meals through him, and come up here and have the experience of a lifetime. It's calmed down quite a bit now, so it's easier to show without the wind howling by how the shoreline of this lake, Wrist Lake, is recently burnt over, which is a natural part of the boreal ecosystem. And a big advantage of that is that blueberries usually grow in after fire, and there should be some really excellent spots to pick blueberries on this trip. So anybody who has been following my channel probably knows that starting this January I'm doing 1 year of wild food eating with my girlfriend Delphine, and we'll be recording our experiences through eating all wild foods for that year. And one of my goals on this trip is to really maximize, aside from the fish, the wild edibles that are available here at this time of year, including blueberries and a few other ones. So we're putting together our first Woodland Caribou Provincial Park meal right now. If you want to see the Wooded Beardsman's angle on that video, you should hop over to his channel and look for that and other episodes there. But with our first trout that we caught, I'm going to try and mix in a bunch of wild foods that are available here, and we also brought some wild rice, which I think is going to come together as a really nice meal. This is fireweed, and as the name implies, it comes up really frequently after forest fires, and you would normally eat it as the young shoot portion, but the flowers aren't half bad, so I'm going to pick a few of these and just throw them in with our blueberries. So this kind of rounds out our first meal for Woodland Caribou Provincial Park. We have the blueberries and the fireweed for a dessert. We have our lake trout that we caught 5 minutes after getting here. It's been rubbed with maple syrup and cooked and smoked over the fire. And then on the side in the pot here, we have a big pile of wild rice and some butter. So that's the first of many meals that we'll be having out here in Woodland Caribou Provincial Park. So if you want to see some more of that, just keep following along as we release all the episodes. It's going to be a really grand adventure.
Jared's got a fish on. Can you reach the net or no?
No, I just need you to pass me the handle. Thanks.
Alright, so if Jared can land this, he won't be skunked. So far he's skunked, so there's lots of pressure on him.
So far, we've been here a couple hours. Oh, it's getting feisty. Like, I don't want to go up to the top.
It's a Laker.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh. There it is.
Jared's not skunked. Unless it falls out of the boat. You never know. So your question is, what are you going to do with that guy? Are you going to keep it?
It's the One Thompson. All the fish, all the time. Delphine bought that lure expecting it to catch me all the fish, all the time. And, oh, there. Nice lake trout. First one of this trip. We'll let this guy go. Eat him?
Well, it's up to you. It's your call.
Well, that's a good eating size fish, eh?
He is a good eater. I mean,
we'll keep
we can
this
just
guy.
let the rest of the other ones go.
Sure.
If
Sounds
you want,
good.
If you want to eat another one,
yeah,
that's not a bad size one.
No, that's perfect. It's a perfect eater.
We'll whack it on the head then.
Yep.
We need a fish whacker.
Yeah.
Use a paddle.
Yeah.
All right. No sudden movements.
I'm gonna hit my thumb. That's what's gonna happen.
All right. I'm ready.
Also, break the neck is pretty effective.
It's the other trick, if you're curious of how other people do it. You pull the neck back, and that's it. Sever the spine. All right. So Jared's not skunked, so we can stop worrying about that.
That's it. We can call it a trip. Let's go get a walleye lake now.
This is too easy. I want to go home.
So there it is. My first trout in Woodland Caribou Provincial Park. First trout on that rod. First fish on that lure. So that was all super exciting. Good way to finish off our day here too. So this is our first day, not even our first full day in the park. 2 beautiful fish. We're gonna have 2 great meals out of that, and seeing some really nice scenery. Just kind of interesting to see how the land is shaped by forest fire and all the rock that's exposed here. Lots of moss and not a lot of soil. So pretty super day. First one of 8. First day of 8. I'm going to catch more than 8 fish. So those ripples in the water there, that is the back of a snapping turtle. Right beside the Woodland Beardsman.
I'm right into it. Quick.
He's a friendly turtle.
No, you can't have the rest of this.
He's just coming right in for the whole trout, eh?
That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah. The sun is still about 45 minutes away from setting, but the way it's filtering through the clouds, you can see it striking up that orange color, and that is forest fire smoke in the air. So there are a few fires burning in the park right now, and those would be ones that are due west or a little bit slightly northwest of Wrist Lake. That's my first lake trout of the trip. We caught this one in the late afternoon.
You say we.
Well, someone was helping me paddle the boat around.
Alright, I'll take half the credit then.
Yep. The Woodland Beardsman, as you all know. And we just cooked this fish up on a hot rock. And we're enjoying it now. It's like a hot skillet, basically. So, there's more details of the cooking on the Woodland Beardsman's channel. And this is basically our supper and the end of our day. Day one. Tomorrow we're headed over to another lake trout lake. It's a few portages away. And we're going to stay there for 2 days. So there should be a whole bunch more lake trout videos following this one. I'm feeding Chris's turtle. When we were cleaning the trout earlier, this turtle showed up and started eating all the guts. Chris has got some really good footage on his video. So I gave this guy the spine. He's just going to town on it. It's not as easy for him to chew as the guts were, though. See him trying to hold it down with his front feet. He's trying to pin it so he can tear at it a bit. Hopefully he doesn't get greedy and just... Oh, there he got it. Choke down a whole trout spine. It's a pretty big turtle.